Good morning and welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Fusilli Grind. I just got back from vacation, had a wonderful time. I had pre-recorded the past few episodes and scheduled them to release while I was gone, but I'm back in the saddle, and I returned home to a sweet treat from Free Skate Mag. Shout out Free Skate Mag. You know we love Free Skate Mag here at Fusilli Grind. In fact, die-hard fans will remember that the first ever episode of Fusilli Grind was another Free Skate Mag joint, and I was lucky enough to return home to a new Rowan Davis part that was hosted by Free Skate Mag. I've been a really big fan of Rowan Davis ever since he started to come on to the international scene, maybe 3 or 4 years ago now, and I think he's just getting better and better. I've often described him as my favorite Australian, and it's not just because he bears a passing resemblance to the late, great Steve Irwin. If you're similar to me in age, Steve Irwin may have been for you what he is for me, and that is one of my early childhood heroes. And I was crestfallen when he passed away. Definitely one of my favorite Australians of all time, and so too is Rowan Davis. I'd also like to shout out the guy that runs Dank Pods, and the guys that did the Big Les show. Among others. I'm sure I can think of a few others as we go through this. But we're watching Rowan today. I think he's a great fit for the modern era of girl skateboards. He's got a super clean style, a really refined trick selection. He keeps it simple but gets tech when he needs to and does really interesting and what I would call creative technical maneuvers. I like his swag. He usually puts together a good kit. Seems like he's got a good head on his shoulders. Seems like a nice guy. Rick and Mike over at Girl Skateboards are geniuses for having this guy on. You know, Free Skate is usually putting on the European guys and other guys that you just don't see as much of. I think Rowan Davis is sort of on the cusp of being one of those mega mainstream guys, but he still kind of keeps it low profile. Doesn't have any of the energy drink nonsense. You don't see him in the street leagues. You see him in the streets. And that's what Fusilli Grind's all about, baby. So, without any further ado, let's let it rip and see what he's up to. Watches for traffic. Boom. Big ol' ollie. Very nice. $52 a case of Peroni. That's a little expensive. Must be Aussie dollars. Nice. He's a bit of a spot genius as well, and a bit of a crust genius. He skates a lot of banks that look like you really wouldn't be able to roll on them even if you wanted to. See, and stuff like this, like cobblestones. He skates a lot of really rugged stuff, and I'm sure that lends to his Australian sensibilities. I think it's pretty weather-beaten in a lot of parts of Australia. Nice, another big ollie. I love the tweak on this. Oh, interesting. He's got crisscross black and white wheels. Kind of sick. I kind of like it. What do you guys think? I know black wheels are definitely overplayed out, but I think it's kind of cool to do the crisscross. You don't see that very often. Big ollie. He gets away with the big ollies, man. I could watch this guy ollie all day. Wow. Really clean ledge game. 270 out. Bam. No tic-tac. Rides down the little thing. Kickflip. More cobblestone magic here. Nice. Like how he did that. Didn't really get all 4 wheels in, but still cool. Kickflip, ollie, into what I assume is much steeper than it looks like on film. This was pretty funny. He just went for the ollie ride-on. Kind of cool. Beautiful back nose blunt. And this is kind of what I mean when I say that he's a great fit on girl skateboards. He's a traditional, high-level, stylish ripper. He's got pop, he's got tricks. Just look at this back nose blunt. This is the kind of guy that needs to be on girl skateboards. You know, Mike Carroll, Rick Howard, Eric Costin, golden era of girl vibes with this guy. I think, personally, he's a great fit. Just swag. Backside flip, narrow backside flip. More narrow stuff. I don't think that this is the same spot in Seattle. PNW heads, let me know, where he does the tray flip on the double set through the little crevice. We'll look at that after the fact because I really like the photo from that. That's like the third or fourth clip he's done where it's just been an ollie. Nice, the double crooked grind line. Just sailing through crust. I thought that was so cool that he did that. Tray flip into the bank, kind of funny. Big kick flip. Back Smith. You know, he's kind of a foil for Jack O'Grady. You know, Australian guy, big ollies, simple tricks, does a little bit of rail chomping. But something about him I think I prefer to Jack O'Grady's skating. He's a little bit more creative. He gets a little bit more tech. He does some sort of off the beaten path stuff. Like this is pretty weird to ollie on and then shove it off of that. He's just got a little bit more swag. And don't get me wrong, I think Jack O'Grady is sick. I just think I really meant it when I said that this guy's my favorite Australian. Nice Smith grind. Everything he does just seems a little bit more considered. Just doing some big rails here. A little bit more considered than O'Grady's stuff, in my opinion. Even though they kind of are cut from the same cloth. And that's the ender, which I think is pretty cool. His ender was just an ollie on monster truck wheels. Like a big street gap. It's like 2 full regular lanes of traffic here. That's a big reach. Pretty cool. Wow. This obviously wasn't a big all-out part. It's still early in the year. It looks like he's just rinsing some footage that he's probably been sitting on for a while. But I'll take what I can get from this guy. I think he's really cool. I really like his trick selection. It's simple, but he does things in a way that you know that he knows what he's doing, if that makes sense. Like that back 3, no tic-tac. You know, all of his footage seems very well curated. I would imagine that he will do things multiple times until he gets the clip exactly the way that he wants it. I just get the vibe from how this footage looks. That he's a bit of a perfectionist. Just everything that he does is really crispy. Like, I imagine that this little bit of sketchiness coming off of the kickflip probably bothered him. Still a cool clip in my opinion. He just has sick style. I like his approach. Everything is crispy. Everything is clean. A little bit of shenanigans there. He seems like he's a fun guy, a nice kid. I get a good vibe off the guy, just purely off vibes. Good fits. Seems like he's not taking himself too seriously. I think he's a perfect fit for girl skateboards. I think this was a good move. I think Vincent Malou was a good move for them as well. I'm a big Vincent Malou fan as well. Anyway, I just wanted to throw this up here as well to cap off the episode. This was from Rowan's first girl ad. It was a 2-page spread in Thrasher. About a year ago? Yeah, here we go. About a year ago. I remember seeing this for the first time in print, in hand, in my copy of the magazine, and thinking, wow, this is so badass. Girl Skateboards kind of getting themselves back into the conversation with this guy. Shout out Alex Papke. This photo is so good. The little double set thread the needle here. But the kicker for me, obviously, of course, is that he's got the Air Max 95s on. It's a bit of an old head shoe. If you don't know what an Air Max 95 looks like off the top, they're these bad boys. Definitely not to be skated in, although there is the classic photo of Stevie Williams doing, I think, a switch heel in Air Max 95s at Love Park. Yup, nailed it. Give me the old head medal. This isn't even really my era. I was born in 1995, but I'm a student of the sport, so obviously I'm familiar with this photograph. I think Stevie was even on DC at the time, but Ryan G caught him in the 95s, blasting what looks like a hip-high switch heel on flat at Love in the 95s, and just looking so cool in the Eagles jersey with the baggy denim. The laces are flying. So sick. I even thought it was really sick how this photo could have been a photo that was taken in period in the 90s. You know, the spot was there, the shoes existed. Rowan Davis certainly didn't. I thought it encapsulated the 90s swag that Girl, I think for a while, has been so desperately trying to rekindle. I think it hits right on trend with all of the mid-90s nostalgia that's been hitting lately, but it doesn't do it in a way that's corny, in my opinion. If you take out the shoe factor, it's still a really gnarly trick, but to do it with them on is just kind of badass, kind of degaff, and in my opinion, effortlessly swaggy. The clip for this also came out in Rowan's Going Pro part for Girl that came out 9 months ago. Sick. I mean, definitely a better photo than clip, but still so cool that he did this. I mean, this angle really shows you how narrow it is and how crazy it is. And he got a little squirrely on the rollaway, but you have to cut him some slack for doing this in Air Max 95s. This is absolutely unequivocally gangster. So, anyway, Rowan Davis, big fan, love him, my favorite Australian for sure. A definite win from Girl Skateboards to get this guy. Could have seen him going Passport. Look, he's got the Passport dunks on in that clip. Definitely could have seen him going Passport. And I'm sure those guys were probably punching the air when they lost him to Girl, but they were probably also stoked to see their countryman putting himself on a platform where he could be shown to the world more effectively. And I'm super pleased about that. So that's that. Thank you, Rowan Davis. Thank you, Girl Skateboards. And thank you, Free Skate Mag. I love you forever. Bye-bye.